Hello and welcome to another episode of Discover with Sbenati. We are in self-isolation. I'm doing this podcast from home, and we have with us the uber talented Aamir, who I discovered on Instagram and completely blown away. Aamir, also known as Aamir RnB on his social media tags on Instagram, Facebook, and his website, is a singer, songwriter, producer extraordinaire with talent that will surely become a big hit across the globe. He's a cross between Usher, Craig David, and Mario, and he's using his skills to make his own unique rendition of R&B, soul, and pop. He's a native to Toronto, believe it or not, and we're super blessed to have him on our soil. Listen to one of my followers at Amal222B, who stated this: Aamir has an incredible control over his vocal cords. He can go up and down in frequency as he wishes effortlessly. Such a sweet, harmonic voice. He is really a prince in the world of music. Thank you for introducing him to me. Aamir, thank you so much for being on this podcast. It's a pleasure, and I can't wait to hit it off with you.
Thanks so much, man. That was quite the intro. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
That's awesome. So let's get straight to it. So if you were to describe yourself using an elevator pitch, so you're to meet someone on the elevator and you're to describe yourself, what would you say about yourself?
As far as like my artistry and my music brand goes, I would say I'm like a modern reincarnation of early 2000s R&B. So okay. I kind of, pretty much that, like a modern version of early 2000s, late 90s R&B. Like I keep those melodies, but with more modern production and mixing techniques and stuff. So okay. Yeah,
that's
in
cool.
a nutshell, it would probably be that.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, I've heard a lot of your songs, if not all of them. I've had a few of them on repeat because
you've gone through all 110 of them.
I actually didn't know there were 110, but I had your YouTube channel. I had it playing. I had all the songs playing.
Oh, nice. So there's actually even more of them. There's even more on Spotify. So
okay. Yeah, I didn't check out Spotify. I checked out all YouTube.
Cool.
YouTube videos. Yeah, and you do your YouTube videos. You do all the videos by yourself. You do your editing by yourself, and you produce.
I've had some of them. I've had help with the shooting. Okay. But like they're so simple, man, that I just usually edit them myself. It's usually just 1 or 2 takes. So
that's
nothing crazy.
That's amazing. And just before we go on, like, what's your last name? Do you have? I'm sure you have a last name.
I do, yeah. It's Shahid, S-H-A-H-I-D.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's your name is spelled with 2 A's, or is that
2 A's? Yeah, that's my actual real name.
Okay.
So.
Okay, and you decided Aamir RnB to be your.
That's just my handle. Like my artist name is just my name, and then it's like Usher. You know, Usher's real name is Usher. Right. It's the same deal. And then I really wanted to like people to know that what I'm about, so I wanted to put R&B in my handles rather than most artists will just do like official Usher or whatever their channels are, but I wanted to put R&B in mine because I want people to know when they come to my channels what it's about, you know.
Right.
So
and
tell us all my socials are. Sorry,
tell us a little bit about your journey as to when you first fell in love with singing and what got you into doing this with full passion.
So I've been singing pretty much since childhood. I would say my obsession with like R&B music probably started in high school. I became like a huge fan of Cisco, Drew Hill, Usher, all those guys, you know, and 112, just that like 90s, early 2000s R&B. Like, I don't know, man, like first time I heard it, I just fell in love, and I just got deeper and deeper into it. And then as I listened to it more, it started influencing the way I sing, and I kind of just gravitated towards it. I just love the way like R&B just has so much feeling and emotion in it. And that's kind of what really drives me to it. And it used to be very melodically rich too. Mm-hmm. Modern R&B isn't as much, but it used to be a lot back then.
Right.
And so yeah, that's pretty much what got me into it. And then I kind of just did it as a hobby for years. And
how'd you know you actually had a good voice?
Well, actually, a lot of people in my family can sing. Like my mom can sing, my brother and sister can sing too. And so I don't know. I just discovered it as a child. Like I've just been singing since I can remember. So that's kind of how it happened.
That's incredible. It's incredible. Now, we were talking right before we started the show. We were talking about mentors, and you were telling me that you don't have a mentor, which really surprised me because I would have thought that someone like you, with your caliber and going up, into the music world, you would have someone to mentor you.
Yeah, like I do have like people that I work with now that do help and guide me.
Mhm.
Like now I do over the last year, but as far as like my like who influenced me like in the industry, I would say my biggest influences are probably vocally would probably be Usher, and as far as songwriting goes, I would probably say Neo was a big influence on me. The Underdogs, who are like really big record producers, they've all the like the really big R&B hits of the early 2000s, they produced a lot of them. So they were a huge influence on me. Marques Houston, Tank, all these like R&B singers in the industry, like they've been like a huge influence on me. And when I started out, I used to actively copy their sound just to be as close to them as I possibly could until I started developing my own. So
I'd say you're pretty close, if not bang on, to be quite
thanks,
honest.
man. Yeah, I'll definitely take that compliment.
And okay, so now that you don't have in terms of like a true mentor, someone who's guiding you. You don't have a specific mentor. You have people that are helping. If you were to have a mentor, who would you want to pick?
That's a good question. I think I like Gary Vee a lot. Seems like a
Mm,
smart guy. You know,
hmm
that'd be cool to have pick his brain a little.
Right. Have you tried reaching out to him?
No, I haven't. I figured he probably gets like 50,000 messages a day. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
I'm
yeah, I
sure he'd
just
be
like his
interested in
outlook
speaking
on
with
life.
someone.
Sorry.
I said I'm sure he'd be interested in speaking with someone like you.
Yeah, well, I'll give it a shot. Why not? After this, I'll slide in his DMs after this.
That'd be sick. So what has been your biggest challenge in life and how did you overcome it?
Honestly, man, I think the biggest thing. Well, there's little challenges and bigger challenges. Like I do, um, just this whole process of becoming good at like my craft in terms of music, because a lot of my fans might not know that, but I also produce, mix, and master my own music, which is so just it took me almost a decade of practice to like get to a point where I was making stuff that was worth marketing and for worth people investing their time and listening to. So that's probably been my biggest challenge, and it took 10 years, man, to overcome it and to like become good at singing, recording, producing, mixing, mastering, writing songs that people actually like. And just that entire process, it was just a crazy journey.
And
20,000 hours.
how many hours? 20,000 hours.
Probably, yeah.
Wow.
Because if I was just doing singing and writing, it wouldn't have taken that long. But because I wanted to do the entire process, producing, mixing, mastering, like it just took so long to understand everything and to be able to do it to a level where my music actually competes with everybody else out there, right? Because when a famous singer releases a song, it's one producer or two producers, a mix engineer, a mastering engineer, 4 or 5 songwriters on a song, and these are the best people in the industry. And to be able to compete with that, you have to put in your time.
Hmm
And so that's been my biggest challenge, and I'm glad that part of it is kind of over now, because even just 2 years ago, I don't think my music competed with what was out there even maybe 3 years ago.
Wow.
So that was my biggest challenge by far.
And how did you overcome them? Like, did you watch a lot of YouTube videos? Did you ask people, books? Like,
Yeah, so just studying a lot of other people. I had a mix engineer who used to mix my stuff, so I learned a lot from him.
hmm,
I had a vocal coach back a couple of years ago, so that helped my vocal game. Just honestly, man, there's no secret to it. It was just putting in the time. It was a huge amount of time spent.
that's
By my estimate, it's probably 20,000 hours now.
that's incredible. And what do you do? You said you used to do this part time, but now you're transitioning into full time. What did you do?
Yeah, I've been moved full time with it for a couple of years now. I used to work in like accounting, finance, all that boring stuff. That
Number crunching.
yeah, not my cup of tea, but whatever. Life is a journey. Why not
Of
try
course,
everything?
of course. And you're a certified accountant?
No, I'm not. I didn't finish my CA just because I have a business and finance degree,
Okay.
but So I worked for years, but I don't know, man. I just lost interest in it. I just couldn't do it. Like, it wasn't my passion, and I figured life is too short, so I have to do what I actually like, you know.
Okay. So now would you consider yourself a full-time singer, songwriter, and producer?
Now I do, yeah.
Okay.
Now I am.
And so what's your schedule? What's a schedule of a singer look like?
So it depends. Like, it's changed a bit over the last couple of years because it's not as intense as it was 2 years ago, because I actually went through a phase where I was releasing a song a week. And the reason I did that was to like really compound my knowledge and to like learn as fast as I possibly could and to build up like an audience faster.
Mm-hmm.
So during that time, all I was doing was sitting in the studio, just recording, producing, writing all day, 7 days a week, 70 hours a week. Wow. So I don't do that as much now because I'm a lot faster at making the songs now. So I would say my week is probably spent between, I try to record a couple songs a week. I'll try to write a song every week. I'll do some production. I'll clean up some old songs, maybe come up with some new ideas. I have to reply to DMs every day. That actually takes up a lot of time now. And just marketing and things like that. So outside of that, the only hobby I had outside of that was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I can't do now because we're in isolation. So that was the only like leisure activity I have, which has now been taken away, unfortunately.
That's pretty sick. So you've got the brains, you've got the bronze, and you got the voice.
I don't know about the bronze, but yeah, I know a little bit of jiu-jitsu, you know, so I've been doing it for about 5 years. I don't know if you got, I'm sure London has a couple clubs too now.
Yeah, there are, yeah.
Have you ever tried it, or?
I haven't. I've been meaning to, but I haven't.
You should, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, once the coronavirus is over, you can give it a shot.
Definitely. And also, my friend wants to get me into MMA, so maybe I'll try that.
Yeah, I've done a bit of MMA. I've tried boxing and Muay Thai and all that, but I don't know, man. I just don't like hitting people and getting hit, so I'd rather just do jiu-jitsu.
Right. Right. So what's your opinion? So the reason why I'm going to ask the following question is because, you know, people who listen to people like you, they get inspired, right? They're like, man, his voice is incredible. Maybe I can do something like this. What's your viewpoint on anyone can become a successful singer?
I believe that so I live by the philosophy that you can achieve anything, but you can't achieve everything. So you have to pick your battles. Like if you want to be a successful artist, just know that it's going to be, are you talking about like technical ability of singing or just like having a career in it or having?
Yeah, I'd say both. I'd say technical and having a career in singing.
I think you can learn the basics and you can learn singing to a degree. Like obviously having some innate ability to hear pitch and stuff helps. And you are limited to your voice, like how it sounds, but with good vocal training, you can develop singing. But you might not be able to develop things like singing with things like soul and passion. That might have to just come from within. But I think the technical side of singing, like breathing properly, that can be learned to a degree. But as far as having a career, man, I just think like you can get anything if you put your mind to it. But having an artist career takes up your entire life. Like there's no like part-time. If you're going to do it part-time, you just won't succeed. It's that simple. So that's why the people who do this, they have to really want it because it's a huge sacrifice.
How many hours would you say you put into your songwriter, singing, and producing every day?
Now it's not as much as it was like 2 years ago. Like I was doing at one point, I was doing 70, 80 hours a week. Now it's probably like 50, 60. But that's just doing the music. Like that's not including like the business side of it, the marketing and the talking to fans. And like you said, like I still haven't blown up, you know, so I have a lot of work to do still to get to that level. But then once you do blow up, there's other challenges. Now you're touring and you're doing other stuff. So no matter which stage you are in it, like it takes over your entire life.
And what's your vision? What's your vision and where do you think this is gonna turn out? Because you know the industry of music is not the same as it used to be before, where you used to make your
No, it's not. And I feel like I kind of operate outside of the music industry. Like I have no interest in signing with a label. or any of that, because I don't think record labels know what they're doing. They're pretty much just living off their back catalogs, which are making them a huge amount of money. If you look at record labels, like they have such a bad success rate. One out of every 25 artists they sign, only one of them succeeds. You know, so a lot of people don't know that. They think, oh well, I hope you get signed. I don't hope that, because they have such a bad success rate. Even with artists that have huge fan bases, that built their fan bases on YouTube and whatever, they'll like a label will sign them and then do nothing with them because they feel like, just think of it this way: if you're signed to the same label as Chris Brown or Justin Timberlake, and then a new R&B singer like me gets signed to that, are they going to put any resources towards me? Probably not, because why would they if they already have Chris Brown? You know, so I feel like as far as me, like I'm just going to keep building it. It's just a matter of consistent product and having a budget to push that stuff, and then constantly increasing it as time goes. Like I had no fans a couple of years ago, you know, and so it's just a matter of grinding it out, I guess.
And do you have a certain number? Do you have a certain goal? Do you plan to do like a world tour in a year, 2 years?
Yeah, eventually, like once I'm big enough, like definitely, like most of my fans are in Europe, believe it or not. But so that's definitely on the horizon. I was actually planning on doing some shows even this year over there, but obviously the live music industry has completely been killed by the coronavirus. So that won't be. I'm sure you noticed like a lot of artists have canceled their tours.
Of course.
Yeah, so that is definitely on the horizon. And then yeah, man, like my whole goal as an artist is just to like resurrect R&B, like the older style of R&B. This is and that's like my biggest mission, because I feel like modern R&B just doesn't, it's just not the same, man. It doesn't have the melody. It's basically just like rhythmic singing over a hip hop beat. Like it's not what it used to be, you know? So
what's the example? So Usher would be the old time singing. What's the new time?
Well, Usher's, so like if you listen to R&B from like the early 2000s or mid 2000s or the 90s versus current R&B, the biggest difference you're going to see now is that the modern R&B songs, they don't have the melody. Like if you listen to a song like Mario's song, Let Me Love You, you know, like it's got such a catchy, memorable melody, right? Whereas you don't get that today. It's all just like riding a beat with a certain flow, rhythmic singing, kind of like all like 2 or 3 note melodies. It's not, that's the biggest thing. I'm not saying it sucks. It's just different, and it's just not my thing, man. Like I like some of it. Like some of the production is really cool.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Your music's off the charts. And
thanks, man. Appreciate that.
If I can do anything in my power to make sure that you blow up, I'm going to do that. Because
appreciate that, man.
To see a brother like you with so much talent and passion, putting in so much effort, you know, I can only wish the best for you.
Thanks so much, man.
And I'm really hoping that you could do something in Toronto or something even in Mississauga.
I did a small show last year. There was only like 50 people, but that was just to get my feet wet into booking my own shows and stuff. But honestly, man, I had all of that planned for this year, just doing a show in Toronto and everything. But unfortunately, you know, like this thing took us by surprise. So, but as soon as it's done, I'm definitely going to be doing that. And hopefully you can make the drive down from London.
Oh, heck yeah.
Possible.
Bro, I drive down to Mississauga and Toronto every time. Every time. Like almost every weekend I'm there. So
really? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, no, it's great. I honestly wish you the absolute best. I can't wait to attend one of your concerts and maybe even see you go on tour. That'd be sweet. That'd be
yeah,
sick.
man. I think it's just like just the natural progression. Like hopefully it should happen, and then yeah, man. Let me know. I'll definitely let you know, and I hope you can make it to one of the shows.
Of course. Oh, heck yeah. And what's your? Do you have a next song that's coming up that people should be looking forward to?
Yeah. So I release songs every 6 weeks. So I've been doing before. I used to do every week, and then I just couldn't sustain it anymore. And then once I felt like, okay, cool, I have 100 songs out, I don't need to release a song every week now. So now I do every 6 weeks. So every 6 weeks there's a new song out, and
nice.
I'll probably, and I have like 20 songs sitting in my computer at any time. So
nice.
That'll probably never end because I have such a backlog of songs that I can release. So I think next release I'm probably gonna release 3.
Nice.
Just because I know people are probably bored at home and they can they can use some more content at this time. So I'll probably release 3 songs next.
And just another question: have you thought of collaborating with other singers?
I have, so that's something that I'm looking into now, because I feel like it can be mutually beneficial for whoever I collab with. And there are a few artists that I do like a lot that are kind of like my level, or that I think would be cool to work with.
And who?
As far as a dream collaboration goes, I would say I'd love to produce a song for Craig David. You know, maybe not even sing it with him, but just produce one for him. Just because he's like such an amazing vocalist, and it would just be amazing to watch him work. And yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, that'd be amazing. I hope you do reach out to him, and I hope he comes.
I tried to open for him once when he came to Toronto. This was a couple of years ago, but I tried to reach out to the promoter, but they never got back to me. So, well,
I think
next time, hopefully.
Now.
I hope so, yeah.
For sure. Thank you so much, Aamir. I really, really appreciate you spending time here with this podcast and with me. And like I said, I wish you the absolute best. You are going to blow up. You are going to become huge. Keep going. Keep grinding it out. Anything I can do to help you out, let me know.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. And let me know when the podcast is live so I can share it too.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for attending another episode of Discover with Sbenati. This was an amazing discovery of Aamir. Can't wait to discover more, and see you next time. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, my man.
Thanks so much, man. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Of course. You have yourself a fantastic Corona episode. I'm thinking maybe you should do more than just once every 6 weeks now with the Corona. You should probably do.
I'm thinking that too. I actually thought of that, but I'm gonna probably ramp it up. That's why I thought the next time I'll release 3, or instead of doing 1 every 6 weeks, I might do 3 every 6 weeks, or something like that. Yeah. Or I might do 1 every 3 weeks, or 2 every 3 weeks, whatever. Like, I'll figure something out. But I actually just released a free song on my website for people to go download. This one won't be released publicly. This is a song that didn't make my album, so that one anybody can go check out too right now. Okay. This was just a couple days ago.
And did you put that on
man. YouTube? It's not on YouTube. It's just on my website. It's kind of a secret song that I'm using to like get people to my website. So, you know.
Okay. I noticed also when I went on your YouTube, it didn't have a link to your website.
Oh yeah, because I just made a new website, so I haven't updated that. Okay. Yeah, thanks for reminding me, man. I'll actually do that right now.
All right, man. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know.
Yeah. So did you say you were gonna post it on Monday? I'll share it too.
Yeah, it'll be posted, and then it's gonna be posted on YouTube on Monday. But then I also segment it. So I segment it and I post segments on everywhere, on all the channels. So
awesome, man.
Yeah, so I'll send you everything that I have, and then you'll feel free to post them.
Perfect, man. Thanks so much.
All right. Have a great day, man. Take care.
You too, man. Take care. Bye.